What's up, everybody? Today is May 13th, 2022. Hope everyone's having a good Friday the 13th so far. In this video, we're going to talk about an image that was released yesterday. Scientists showing us what the center of the Milky Way galaxy looks like, with this supermassive black hole photographed by the Event Horizon Telescope. And in this video, we'll examine, of course, the astrology that goes along with this, but also the numerology, with a focus on the language of gematria or gematria, the ancient practice and observation of letters and numbers. The ciphers on the screen here, English, ordinal, and reduction, are the most common ones, and we'll dive right into that. This black hole is called Sagittarius A, and Sagittarius A is actually pronounced Sagittarius A star, as you'll notice the asterisk after the A. In the language of gematria, the phrase Sagittarius A star has a value of 59 in reduction and 203 in the alphabetic order. And this photograph was released on a date with numerology of both 59 and 23, which in numerology, with the zero dropped, represents the same number. So why was this released on May 12th of all dates? Of course, NASA, along with many other government agencies, always doing things by this numeric code. And those with knowledge of the code are always able to look underneath the hood of these stories, so to speak, and find the astrological riddle underneath. Yesterday was an interesting day in astrology. You'll notice that the planet Jupiter is sitting right at the cusp of Pisces and Aries. And in fact, yesterday, May 12th, when this photo was released, was just hours after Jupiter moved from Pisces into Aries. Now, Jupiter only moves signs about once every year. And the reason this is really important is because the only constellation that Jupiter rules in modern astrology is Sagittarius, which is, again, where this photo was taken from. Furthermore, this image was also released on the 12th day of the month. You'll see this May 12th date in all of the articles pertaining to this story. And the number 12 stands out here because Jupiter just left the 12th sign, which is Pisces. Now, if you multiply 12 times 12, you get a product of 144, which is also the 12th Fibonacci number. And 144 is an important number to Sagittarius, the constellation summing to 144 in the standard alphabetic order. Now, in this video, we'll explain how this is also connected to the astrology of the moon, and also a song called Black Hole Sun, which was released by Soundgarden back in the year 1994. Of course, this being the second image ever of a black hole released by NASA and other scientists. We'll also mention how this connects to a Muse album from 2006. British rock group Muse released this album called Black Holes and Revelations, which is also actually tied into this riddle. The singer of Soundgarden, Chris Cornell, who wrote the song Black Hole Sun, famously died back in 2017 in a bizarre incident where he hung himself by a doorknob. Really one of those unbelievable celebrity deaths. And we're going to look at how the release of this image of a black hole is connected to Chris Cornell. Now, as the article states, this is not the first image ever of a black hole. The first one was actually released in the year 2019. And this was from the Messier 87 galaxy. I believe as we scroll down this page, we'll see an image of this first black hole ever captured. April 10th, 2019 was the date of this image. And the fact that this constellation is in the news, or galaxy I should say, is pretty interesting because this past weekend we had a horse named Messier in the Kentucky Derby. In fact, the horse that was leading up until the last stretch there. So if you measure from the date of the first image of a black hole from Messier 87 in 2019 to yesterday, when the second image was released, you get 1,128 days. In the reverse Sumerian cipher, which is the alphabetic order times 6, the name Chris Cornell sums to 1128. In what I consider to be the most important large number cipher on the calculator, the name Chris Cornell equals 408. And the date 408 is the date of the next Great American Total Solar Eclipse. You'll see this April 8th of 2024. Now, the song Black Hole Sun can also be seen as a euphemism for an eclipse. Of course, when the moon blocks the sun during an annular eclipse, it looks like there's a hole in the sun. This song was even released in the year 1994. And in English gematria, total solar eclipse sums to 994. Talk about this more in a second. In fact, if you measure from the image of the black hole to the next Great American Total Solar Eclipse, you get 99 weeks and 4 days. And again, this points us to 1994, the year Black Hole Sun was released. Now, in Hebrew gematria, the phrase total solar eclipse equals 280. And this image was released exactly 28 years to the day, with the end date included, after the release of Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. Exactly 28 years to the day. Notice how the name Chris Cornell has matching gematria with Messier 87, which again was the first galaxy whose black hole was photographed. Notice how Messier sums to 333 in satanic gematria. And this is a really important number to this entire riddle. This black hole photo from yesterday was published a span of exactly 3 years and 33 days after the first image of a black hole. And in standard reduction, the phrase black hole equals 33. Now, this first image of Messier 87, this was published a span of 333 days after the anniversary of the song Black Hole Sun. And in fact, yesterday's date, when we got this article, fell a span of 333 days before the anniversary of the next Great American Eclipse. This one on 408, syncing up with Chris Cornell's gematria. And of course, in that same reduction method, not only does black hole equal 33, but so does the word eclipse, 33. Chris Cornell's death was heavily connected to this first Great American Eclipse. Notice how this occurred on August 21st of 2017. Well, if you measure from Chris Cornell's death to the date of that first eclipse, you get 3 months and 3 days. Again, matching eclipse. This was part of a greater riddle that also involved Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park. This man sang at Chris Cornell's funeral and then would later go on to die on July 20th, which was Chris Cornell's birthday. And if you measure from Chester's death to the date of that first Great American Eclipse, it was a span of 33 days. The name Chris equals 33. So does the name Chester. In fact, his last name, Bennington, also gives us this 333 gematria. So we're being told that because of this image, scientists are going to bolster their understanding of relativity and gravity. And whenever I see these two terms together, it reminds me of this scientist, Albert Einstein, who was famous for his theory of relativity, which of course involved gravity. And what's so interesting about this date, July 20th, which again is not only Chris Cornell's birthday, but also the date that Chester Bennington died, is that in history, July 20th is the date of the moon landing, the first ever manned moon mission, allegedly touching down on July 20th, back in 1969. Notice how the name Christopher Cornell sums to 218 in the alphabetic order. In the Jewish method, the name Cornell also equals 218. This number is synonymous with the moon, as in Hebrew gematria, the word for moon sums to 218. Cornell would currently be 57 years old. The name Chris equals 57 in ordinal, so does the word moon. So no doubt this all coming together in 2022 for a very good reason. But back to Albert Einstein real quick. We talked about the number 33 and how this is such a pivotal number to the date of this story. Well, notice how Albert Einstein would have been exactly 33,000 days old on the date of that first moon landing. And 33 is an important number to the moon. Consider how it takes 33 years for the lunar and solar calendars to fall back in sync, pointing to the sun summing to 33 and 330, eclipse 33. We'll look more at these numbers in a little bit. But there was a pretty significant moon riddle that actually ties into an NBA game from yesterday. In the NBA playoffs last night, the Miami Heat eliminated the Philadelphia 76ers with a really interesting score of 99-90. Now, 99 and 90 are the ordinal values of the moon. 99 in reverse, and 90 in the alphabetic order. Well, if you measure from the moon landing to yesterday, the date of this basketball game, and the image of the black hole, you find it's exactly 706 lunar phases, or actually sidereal months. Now, sidereal months are a little bit shorter than a synodic month or a lunar phase. Sidereal months are technically how long it takes the moon to orbit the Earth in relation to the stars. Now, this is a little over 27 days, and you'll notice that it was exactly 706 lunar orbits since the moon landing yesterday, and that represents the number 76. The 76ers getting eliminated from the playoffs with this score of 99-90, which is again connected to the moon. Consider how Miami also has gematria of 99 and 90, the team that beat them. But perhaps more significant is that Miami is in Florida, and Florida is the state where the Apollo rockets took off from as they went to the moon. Now, looking back at this image from Messier 87, again, the first ever black hole photographed, measuring from the date of this image back to the song Black Hole Sun was exactly a span of 9,099 days. representing these same numbers. And don't forget, 999 is an upside down 666. And 666 is the reverse value of National Aeronautics and Space Administration. 666 in the reverse alphabetic order. Now, 666 is revealed as the number of the beast in the book of Revelation. And I thought it was interesting because this reminded me of an album from 2006 by Muse, which was called Black Holes and Revelations. And how about this? If you measure from the release date of this album to yesterday when this black hole image came out, it was 666 weeks. Pretty good album, by the way, if I might say so myself. Now, let's look further at how this is connected to the moon. Yesterday, when we got this new black hole image, the moon was conjunct with Messier 87, which is where the first black hole image came from. Now, the next time the moon comes conjunct with Sagittarius A, where we got our newest black hole image from, notice how this falls on May 18th, this coming week. Well, this date stands out because May 18th is the date that Chris Cornell died back in the year 2017. Now, May 18th on a calendar is written 518. The song Black Hole Sun has a running time of 5 minutes and 18 seconds. 518. Now, this was a number from my last video also on the Kentucky Derby. I talked about this in connection to Richard Dawson. There was a big 518 sync. And in that video, I explain why 518 is connected to total solar eclipses. So I will link that video down below in the description if you didn't watch it already. But before I end this video, I wanted to talk about how Albert Einstein aligns to this story as well, the man who gave us the theory of relativity. Now, if you measure from Albert Einstein's birthday to the date of yesterday's news story, notice he was 1,770 lunar phases old. Of course, we've been talking about the moon a lot here. And the number 1770 stood out to me because this is the Jewish gematria of Milky Way, the name of our galaxy, where Sagittarius A is at the middle of. In reverse Sumerian, the name Christopher John Boyle, which is Chris Cornell's birth name, notice how this also sums to 1770. Einstein was also 52,290 days after his birthday. And within this string, we get a 229. And the star Sagittarius A star here has this 229 gematria in the reverse alphabetic order. And 229, when we look at the book of Revelation, it's the 229th verse of the book that gives us the number of the beast, 666. Einstein would have also been 59 days after his birthday, and remember Sagittarius A star with that 59 as well. All right, so again, check the links in the description below for more, as I'll have the blog posts linked there, as well as my last video on the Kentucky Derby. Peace, love, God bless, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.